welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. And we are here at the penultimate episode of the OG L Word. We only have one episode left, and what am I gonna do when I finish reviewing the L Word? I mean, obviously I have some other videos in the works, and you know, sometime towards the end of the year, hopefully, we're going to be getting Generation Q. And after I finished, basically next week, reviewing the original L Word, I will do the first 5 episodes of Gen Q and the season finale, because I started my channel with episode 6 of Gen Q. And I did go back and do 6 and 7 on kind of 1 year on from Generation Q airing. So I'll link those in the cards above if you ever want to check those out. And I really would obviously like to do episodes 1 through 5 to kind of give my opinion like these ones. And then also, you know, my channel was really new. I think it was probably like my 3rd or 4th video, so I would like kind of a redo, but that's for a few weeks away. And also kind of apt that next week is my last week in this apartment and I'm going to be moving, so starting off in my new place with Generation Q reviews, what more could a girl ask for? Also still kind of in prison over here due to the thing 19. And you know, that's why my hair is hella grey, and hopefully I'll have been able to go and get my hair colored by then. So sit back, relax, grab a snack, pour yourself a drink, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and let's get into the L Word season 6 episode 7, the penultimate episode, Last Couple Standing. So starting off with Jenny and Shane, what is going on here? I mean, Jenny has just well and truly lost it, gone off the deep end. As I've been referring to this season, she's in full-blown cartoon villain mode, and you know, it's a mess. It really, really is. And Shane, you know, cheats on Jenny with Nikki, which has kind of been, I mean, they got together in the season 5 finale, and then it's been building over the last few episodes, but not really. It's just kind of thrown in there. And like that whole thing last week with Shane getting sick, like, what was that? Like, it just made no sense. And also I mean, time does not exist in the L Word, we know this, but even more weirdly about this season is that it just seems to be so rushed and no time has gone by. Like, everything seems to be happening immediately, but then also things like Bette and Tina have gone and gotten a child, and Alice wrote a script, Jenny then stole the script and wrote it. Like, all these things don't happen in a day, but we're led to believe that this season has, it makes no sense, and it's really confusing, the timing. And I mean, this entire episode takes place in Hit Club. Like, that's it. That's the whole episode. And I would say, honestly, if you went and added up the amount of time that's spent in either Hit Club or the planet, it easily is well over half of the season. Like, also, you know, I've talked about this a lot, is the lighting in this entire season is bananas. And anyone who is not like me and whiter than white is not lit properly in this entire season. And they continue this trend throughout the episode. And even, I mean, normally this season they've been making everyone really, really hard to see. Like, it's been so dark. And then this episode, they also achieve that, but then there's a scene where they completely wash Kit and Sunset Boulevard out. Like, seriously, I have better lighting than this, you know. I'm a tiny YouTuber, and this is a television show on its 6th season. Like, what is happening? Sorry, I kind of went off on a lighting tangent and, you know, location tangent there. But back to Jenny and Shane. I mean, there's really not much else to say about them, because even though, yes, they're in the episode a fair bit, I just feel like so disinterested. It's so unbelievable that these things would happen, that Jenny would like go and convince Nikki, and then Jenny like buys Nikki for Shane like in front of everyone. It's so just, oh, like, they in no way were trying here. And yeah, it just was, I cannot believe this is the second to last episode. This is the penultimate episode. Like, generally, even if this wasn't the last season, a penultimate episode of a season, not even a series, is you are getting everyone excited and built up for the season finale, and in this case the series finale, to an actual pop culture phenomenon, like seriously impactful show. And this is it. Like, this episode, this, you know, yes, the dancing and stuff, I really, really enjoy it. It is really like fun to watch, but this episode should be like episode 3, or if it was a longer series, you know, say it's a 24 episode series, you'd have it like somewhere around 16, where you can afford to have these fun little episodes. But the fact you only have 8 episodes in the season, the fact that it's the final season, the fact that it is such an impactful show and is the sole representation for an entire community of people, and then you also are on a, you know, a Showtime paid for network, all of these things, and you have a dance episode at one location for the last episode, where basically no storyline is continued at all, apart from the tiny, you know, cold open and a few little bits after with Bette, which obviously I'll talk about in a minute. But just the fact that this episode, you could not watch this episode, and you would be, if somebody just said, hey, Jenny confronts Bette about Kelly, that's it. That's all you need to know about this episode. And even though it's the penultimate episode, it's one of only 8 episodes in the season, literally nothing happens. Nothing happens. And you have crafted your entire season around this murder mystery season-long arch that there is no arch. It just was, Jenny's dead. That's it. There's no building, there's no, you know, storyline about it, there's no development. It's just 2 bookends. The season opens with Jenny dead and everyone there, and the season ends with it, and there's no in between, and then there's no conclusion, there's no beginning, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. If you guys think I'm bad in this episode, just wait. Just wait until next episode. And also, after the last episode that I do, before I start Gen Q, I'm gonna do like a overall review of the entire show and do a video about that, but so I'll save some feelings for then. All right, I've talked enough about how useless and stupid Jenny and Shane's storyline was. So Kit basically again has no storyline this episode, no character development. She's just there for other characters to speak to and to be terribly lit. Sunset Boulevard thing, so not interested. I just don't even know why this was put in there. Like, there's so many things I feel that way about. I just would have preferred the time that they used Sunset Boulevard for this season to tie up the approximately 127 loose threads, or even just some sort of any storyline or development for the characters that we have had over 6 seasons, instead of just randomly throwing in this character for nothing. Like, I don't understand it. And when, you know, Sunset Boulevard reveals themselves, which, do these people not have eyes? Like, was the lighting so terrible that they couldn't see each other's faces? Is that what was happening? Is that really the actual, like, reveal? Oh, secretly the lighting was bad, so they didn't even see each other's faces. So Sunset Boulevard, like, is it really gasp worthy? Everyone's like, when he comes on, and I just, like, do they even know who he? I just don't get it. It made no, like, it's not like he's a celebrity or something. Next character. Next character is Max. Max isn't in the episode. You know, this character that's been in the show for over half the series and not in the penultimate episode. They couldn't even do what they did with the season 5 finale and just get him to say, hey guys, like, nothing. Okay, nothing. Again, if you haven't seen Disclosure, go and watch Disclosure. Official plug right here. So, Alice and Tasha. Was the salt and pepper thing hilarious? Yes. Was their storyline a mess? Also, yes. Just, why are you doing this one episode before the show is over? I just think Alice and Tasha had nothing going on this season. This thing with Jamie did not interest me at all. And then the whole, in the beginning of the season, it seemed like we were actually going to get some sort of development or some sort of discussion about their relationship, like why they're together, because literally, like, these two characters have nothing in common apart from, like, they both like having sex with each other. That's pretty much it. So I would have liked something more. We got, you know, the 2-second visit with the worst therapist in the world, Dan Foxworthy, my arch nemesis, and then it was like, oh, we're making a pros and cons list, and then never mentioned again. And they start having this, like, third person in the relationship. Like, does that not tell you something? So the best thing about Alice in this episode, I mean, I love Alice. Like, she is a very, very close second to my favorite character, Bette, and that's probably why I enjoyed this the most, is I really liked the kind of Alice and Bette rivalry throughout the episode, well, in the beginning of the episode, and Alice and Bette kind of, like, you know, calling each other out and stuff. I thought it was really funny. And I also really liked when Bette and Tina are trying to have this, like, conversation about, you know, moving in New York and the kid and stuff, and, like, Alice is like their child, like, in the middle of it, like, yeah, we need to talk, guys, as if she's like a part of their relationship. So I did really enjoy that part. And I think Leisha Haley is one of those people who really doesn't get enough credit for what a good actress she is, because while obviously, you know, I talk all the time about, like, I think Jennifer Beals is amazing and like Jennifer and Laurel's chemistry and all this stuff, but the thing about Leisha Haley is that like her stuff feels really improvised, and that's really hard to get across on screen because you really think that like she's improvising a lot of what she says, which, you know, I'm sure there is some improvisation, but most of the time it's all scripted. And I think that's because she's just a very natural actress, and she, you know, kind of fell into acting. Like, she's a musician, and the L Word was like what, like pretty much her first, you know, acting thing, and she's not like a trained actress. So I think that's why she does come across so naturally and like so believable. There really is like a blurred line between Leisha and Alice, and this, you know, especially then with you add in her friendship with Kate Manning, that like I really just sometimes feel as though I'm going, is this Leisha or is this Kate? Like, and especially going back to season 1, some of the scenes where Alice and Shane are more like in the background, like you can see sometimes and you're like, oh, that's not Alice and Shane. That's Leisha and Kate talking in the background. So another show that does this a lot is The Office, and you have the actresses who play Pam and Angela are like really good friends in real life. They have an awesome podcast together, totally random plug, but it's really good, Office Ladies, and they do like a rewatch. But it's so interesting, the actresses doing that. I think that's what Leisha and Kate should do with Pants, because it is so interesting to have the actresses from the show doing a rewatch, and then they give like, you know, little inside information, like stuff like this is improvised, or this line was changed, or, you know, I was supposed to do this but I felt my character would do this, or blah blah blah. So I just think that it's a really cool concept, and there's a lot of people doing this now, like Rachel Bilson and Melinda, I can't remember her last name, but they were on the OC, and they're doing like an OC rewatch one now. So that's just my 2 cents. I really think that Leisha and Kate should do something like that on Pants, even if it's just like a few episodes, if they don't want to commit to the whole 6th season. But if they did, like, I don't know, big episodes, like the pilot and stuff like that, it would be so interesting to hear their perspective. But that's just random, you know, sorry, just going off randomly there. So Alice and Tasha kind of leave the episode in this really odd place that is even odder considering this is the second to last episode. And Alice has spoken to Jamie and been like, do you have feelings for Tasha? Jamie says yes, but I wouldn't act on them. And then Alice and Tasha kind of have this dance discussion, and, you know, I think Leisha Haley and Rose Rollins were both really great in this scene. Again, Leisha Haley is just such a natural and like really sells the whole thing, but I just was so distracted by how absolutely horrendously fucking awful the lighting was. So again, Rose Rollins, I'm so sorry. Like, it was terrible. It was terrible, and you couldn't see anything. And then Leisha Haley was also completely like washed out. It was just awful, and it was really distracting because I felt like the entire time I was like, had my screen up the brightest it goes, and I could still see nothing. So on to Bette and Tina, and, you know, Bette is the person this week that, I mean, it's apt that they left Bette to the last to be the kind of, you know, the who killed Jenny thing. And Jenny confronts Bette in the beginning of the episode in the cold open, saying, you know, I saw you with Kelly, and Bette obviously, you know, denies this because it's not true. And Jenny just is adamant that it happened, and throughout the episode, we see Bette try and speak to Tina, but then it's just, there's so much going on, and like Alice, their child, is interrupting them. And you can see Bette kind of say, okay, like we're at this thing, let's just have fun. And then she runs into Jodi, which is really awkward in the bathroom. And Jodi says that she has also heard that Bette has cheated on Tina with Kelly. And we also learn, and I don't know why they did this. Whenever you have a new character like Kelly, and then you have a character like Jodi that we haven't seen for several episodes. The last one I think we saw was when the gallery opened. So we've never seen Jodi and Kelly interact. We saw them at the gallery together, but you know, it appeared that Kelly and Jodi didn't even know each other. So how are Kelly and Jodi having this conversation? Like, when would, I mean, maybe they met at the gallery after Bette left, but I'm sure that Bette, who one is friends with Kelly and two is in business with her, like the Jodi thing must have come up. So I just don't get why Kelly and Jodi would be talking in the first place, but if they were, it'd be like a professional thing. And then how they got onto, oh, and by the way, I slept with Bette. Like, what? So it also makes no sense that they're telling us this, and this happened off screen, and we've never seen these characters interact. It makes the audience question the authenticity of Jodi, because we've never even seen these characters interact. So one, the audience is thinking, well, either this happened and it's weird that they're on this friendly of terms that they could have this conversation, or two, I mean, I don't think Jodi's lying, but you know, some people may think that or she'd be lying to get back at Bette, because we know that Jodi is hella bitter and not shy about taking out her bitterness in an art exhibit, for example. So anyway, clearly Jodi, I think that this conversation did happen between Jodi and Kelly. Odd, but it happened, which I, again, just don't even know how. And you can see Bette being like, oh fuck, and panicking, because if Jenny knew, and that's one thing in their friend group and all that, but it's obviously going around, and Jodi lands the absolute killer blow of, you know, she talks about dodging Bette as a bullet, but then she's like, it's Tina I feel sorry for, and it's like, ooh, cut deep, Jodi. So we don't really see anything else happen after this. And then at the end of the episode, after the dance competition, like, they seem okay, as best okay as they can be, and Jodi is totally the bigger person and says that she wishes Bette and Tina the best, which it is so difficult to do, but
mad respect for doing it, Jodi.
so I just want to talk about the dancing for a sec. And one, like, we had some really great routines, like, you know, Alice, Tasha, and Jamie's routine was really funny. And no matter what I hear Push It, that is all I think of. Like, that is exactly what I picture. And then, you know, like Jodi's routine, really great. Shane and Jenny, okay. And Sumi, I like Bette and Tina. So they had a really, really great dance routine. And one, obviously, like I always say this, I relate to Bette so hard in certain circumstances, and this is absolutely one of them, the whole competitive thing. And I mean, this dance is absolutely the acting out of that meme that's like, what feels like sex but isn't. I mean, I feel like there's no one who could look at this and deny that there is not only like amazing chemistry between the two actresses, but it's just super hot. Like, come on now. Also, one of the things for me, I mean, when I watched this episode, it's like 2000, I watched it when it aired in 2009, and it was the year I was graduating from university. I was probably like 21, and you know, I think pretty much everyone in society grows up with some sort of internalized homophobia. Maybe not so much now, but I definitely, like, I'm a millennial, and definitely growing up, you know, it was a really hard thing for me to come out and things. And now, like, you know, I am a very confident, like, certainly in my sexuality, like, I never question anything. It's just part of who I am. And even if you would have spoken to me a few years before I watched this episode, when I was like 18, 19, and I had a girlfriend but I wasn't out, I would never even believe you that I'd be making videos like this and putting them on the internet, because I just wasn't confident then in it. And I waited till the exact right moment for me, when I was 1,000% sure. I mean, I've always known since I, even before I knew what gay was. And you know, you get a lot of people, like, whether it be in the media or even in real life, that when they see things like two women in a wedding dress or something like this, two women dancing together, not in like a fun dancing way, like in like a romantic way, that people say, oh, it looks funny and stuff like that. And I'm here to tell you that is internalized homophobia. That it doesn't look funny. It's just people have grown up, or, you know, I don't want to say brainwashed, but have been given these examples of, this is what, you know, sexual attraction looks like, or this is what couples look like, and it's a man and it's a woman, and this and that. And when people talk about gay men, lesbians, etc., in even the media or in real life, I've seen a lot of reporting that said that even now people prefer or are more accepting when, for example, a lesbian couple, there is a masculine woman and a feminine woman, and they are less comfortable, especially when there's two very feminine women, lipstick lesbians, etc. And if anybody ever has a comment about, oh, you know, chemistry between two women, or like dancing or brides or anything, show them this episode and specifically the Bette and Tina dance. So we get to the end of the episode, and Bette and Tina have gone to pick up Marcy from the bus station, and they have this little conversation in the car about moving to New York, which, again, are we really having characters in the last scene of the penultimate episode saying they're moving to New York, and then in the next episode they're moving to New York? Like, it's again, time does not exist in the L word. So Bette and Tina pretty much deciding to move to New York, and then they go to greet Marcy off the bus, and you can see them starting to get worried. And I think Bette pretty much starts panicking first, because of the two of them, Bette is someone who is more going to jump to that something is wrong. By the way, I am working on some L word character psychoanalysis at the moment. I'm starting with Bette, so look forward to that. And when Bette realizes that Marcy isn't there, you know, Tina gets on the bus to go and just check, and Bette is like very obviously upset. You know, you see Tina trying to be the strong one here. So that's pretty much where we end the episode, with our two main couples, Alice and Tasha, and Bette and Tina, kind of being hit with some not so great news. I mean, very different, like, obviously Alice and Tasha, will they survive this? What's going to happen? Side note, it's been 12 years and we still don't know because where is Tasha in Generation Q? Hopefully we get that answer in season 2. And then Bette and Tina, they thought that they were going to be expanding their family. And, you know, because of Generation Q, we know that this doesn't ever happen for them. So I am also interested in hearing, did they try again? And if not, was it because this was such a devastating blow and it was around this time when obviously everything happened with Jenny? So those are things that I would definitely like to know in Generation Q as well. So overall thoughts on this episode, where do I stand? I do really like the dance parts. Again, like Alice, Tasha and Jamie and the Bette and Tina dance are really, really great. And the Bette and Tina dance is definitely one of my top 3 scenes from season 6, because let me be honest, there's really not a lot of competition. So, but for the rest of the episode, thoroughly disappointing as an episode in only an 8-episode season, and as a penultimate episode. Like, are you kidding me? This is the second last episode and this is what you're giving us? So make sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comment section and prepare yourselves for the next review, the last OG L Word episode review. Again, I will do like a series wrap-up review thoughts and then start in the Generation Q ones, but next episode is the last episode review. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe so you know first about any Generation Q Season 2 news that I drop. And also don't forget to follow me on social media, because that's where I drop a lot of the news too. If you would like to support the channel and get your hands on some cool merch, check out my merch store in the description box down below. And also don't forget, on Fridays I go live on my channel. We had LCon last week, so if you haven't been able to catch up on that yet, make sure to go and watch it. We had the L Word Online, Bette and Tina House of Stir Fry, and All Things Tibet podcast on the channel. It was really great, and we are going to do it again very soon. So come to my live this week. It's at 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 11 a.m. Pacific. So don't miss out on that one. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.